Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who may be new here to our community, my name is Misha, and on this channel, in this community, we create self-development, self-awareness videos so that we can provide you with the tools to help you become the best version of yourselves. So just to get that out the way, and again, if you love this community, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like, share this video so that we can get this information out to as much people as possible. It is now December. I'm excited. We have a month left into the new year, and one of the reasons why I started doing these videos consistently, because I know that this is around the time when we start planning our new year resolutions, setting our goals for the new year, and I just want to make sure that this year of 2023 that we are actually successful. And not only are we successful, but we are using and working with our subconscious mind so that we can get there at more ease, without less of the resistance, and understanding that we're not gonna wake up perfect, or we're not gonna wake up there. We're not gonna just wake up and be doing the things perfectly, that we have to, even though I don't believe in perfection, but that we have to understand that because we have been programmed a certain way and our minds have been programmed a certain way, in order to create new habits, we need to understand how the subconscious mind works so that we can work with it to get the things that we need to get, and do the things that we need to do. So I figured this video right here may ruffle some feathers, and I understand that sometimes I may have to be the bad guy, but I do want to make a disclosure that I in no shape or form will ever want to sit here and sit on some type of high horse where I'm looking down at anyone and like I'm better than anyone. Anything that I talk about, anything that I speak on, is because I've went through it and I've gone through it, or I'm still going through it, but I know that there's a light at the tunnel and I'm working through it myself. So in any shape or form, am I ever looking down on someone feeling like I'm better and I'm just talking as if I haven't been there? I understand the struggle. I understand how hard it is when you want to do better, when you see yourself at a different level, but it's hard for you to break certain behaviors and certain habits in order for you to actually get there and get to that version of yourself that you see yourself being. One of the topics that I feel like is so important is, having that victim mindset. And what I mean by having a victim mindset is, wherever you are today, as of right now, understanding that it is a culmination of all of the decisions and the choices that you have made, whether it's micro or macro, regardless of how big or small it is. We have full responsibility of our lives, right? God has given us free will. And I think that we like to believe that when it's beneficial to us, but when it's time to take accountability for where we are today in our life, and accountability for the choices that we made, that's when we start pointing a finger and we forget and we get amnesia about us having that free will. And I think that if we understood exactly what that meant about God giving us that free will, then we can stand in our power and understand how special we are. Whether people try to convince you that you're not, you are. We have all been put here. I truly believe that we have all been placed here on this earth because we all have a purpose to fulfill before we leave this earth. And it's up to you to discover that purpose, and it's up to you to bring that reality into fruition. So I had a conversation with some beautiful people over the holiday on Thanksgiving, and it sparked this need of me. Like, it just, when I walked away, I just felt like I just needed to speak on it. That a lot of times that we play victim and don't even know it, right? Let me make this clear. Again, I have ran the Victim Olympics for 27 years. Right? I will raise my hand and be the first one to say I played victim for 27 years. I am now 32. So that's over half of my life, majority of my life, that I actually played the victim, ran a Victim Olympics, probably started it, probably started the lead. I was the starter and I was good at it. You know what I mean? But when I decided that I no longer wanted to play this game, and I decided that I wanted to take my power back and I wanted to get into the driver's seat of my vehicle, that's when I knew that I had to take full accountability of everything. Your happiness is all on you, you know, your relationships, how you react to things. And people will say, you know, well, how do I know if I'm, you know, if I have a victim mindset, you know? Well, do you blame other people for your shortcomings? If you're still saying to yourself or to others that you're the reason why, you know, you're this way is because, you know, things that happened to you in your childhood. If you have been, you know, I don't want to say the word. I'm not sure how YouTube get down. I'm a newbie to this. But if you have been SA'd, you know, look it up. DV, experienced DV. Any of that, if you have been through, you know, whatever you have gone through and been through, and it may have been some months ago, weeks ago, years ago, and half the time it'd be years ago. A lot of things that we still hold on to from our childhood, we blame our caregivers for. If you're still telling yourself you're here, or you act this way, or you behave in this way, or you can't do certain things because of that person that may have broken your heart, or that person that may have neglected you, or caused emotional, you know, trauma to you, or emotional turmoil, or, you know, anything, circumstances, any obstacles that have been placed your way, and you use that as a crutch to say the reason why you haven't gotten to the place that you want to get to, then you have a victim mindset. Yes, you do. And I was having this conversation with a young lady who is beautiful, amazing. And, you know, she said something to me, and we were talking about, you know, relationships and how, you know, if you're not happy in a relationship, you either, because I believe that happiness comes from within. I don't believe that any significant other can make you happy. I think that they can add to your happiness that you already had stepping into the relationship, but it's up to you to continue to nurture that and sustain that, right? And if you're just not getting what you need from that person, then yeah, of course, the adult thing to do, the healthy thing would be to, you know, maybe separate yourself from a time being, permanently or temporarily, right? But in no way, shape, or form you can keep continuing to blame the other person for your happiness. And she said something like, well, my situation or my circumstance is different from yours. And it was like a aha, like a light bulb click, because I remember using that. Like, that would be my favorite thing. Like, you know, oh, I always say that to people when people would try to talk to me, give me advice, give me game. Well, your situation is different. You know, you have a different background than me. Like, your upbringing is different from mine. And it's like, yeah, the situation may be different, the circumstance may be different, but you know, we can all still take advice. We still have that power to remove ourselves and, you know, out of the situation and make a 180 change. And I remember when I spoke about this before, like, you know, going through that dark tunnel, like, you know, in my early 20s, like back in 2014, you know, just going through this dark time where everything from my childhood, like all of, you know, the emotional things that I went through with my father. And I speak on that situation a lot. And, you know, because it's not fair if I come to y'all and I say, well, you know, you don't have a victim mindset, or you create your own reality, or, you know, you have the power to create positive thoughts and combat the negative thoughts. If I don't tell you why I'm this way, why I have the mindset that I have, why do I believe that this is possible, if I didn't tell you my background. You know, I can get on here and tell you and try to motivate you as much as I could, but it's not fair to you guys if I don't expose myself and tell you guys my background. Although me and my father, we are now at a good place, and I hold no fault to him, because it is what it is. It is what it is. I hold no faults with him, you know, to him, but it is something that happened in my childhood Me feeling dealing with the emotional trauma and things of that nature, I do have to speak on that to let you guys know. Yes, at one point it did affect me. At one point I held on to that as a crutch because I just did not want to take full accountability for how in my adult years where I was at then. You know what I mean? Like, or now. I didn't want to take accountability like, okay, you were a child then, you grown now, you don't even live with this man, like why are you still holding on to that? And I just couldn't let it go until one day I just got tired. I got tired of telling that same story, holding on to that same story, and really making that story my current life. And I just didn't want to bring it into my future. If I'm going to tell a story, it's going to be to inspire and help others to know that they can come out of any dark place, any situation that they're in, if they so-called choose to. But you don't have to stay there. We tell our story as a testimony. We hold our story as a testimony to inspire others to pick them up. You know what I mean? And let them know that it's possible. Like, if I can get over this, if I can get through this, so can you. But we don't tell our story for sympathy and to hold ourselves and place ourselves as victims so that we can have sympathy, and it also gives us a green light to stay complacent in our sorrow, stay complacent in our toxic behaviors that are no longer serving us. You know, we don't use that as an excuse to be bad and do harm to others. We don't use that as an excuse to hurt other people. Like they say, hurt people hurt people. Sad people make other people sad. We don't use that to do so. No, we're not victims. We are survivors. And more than ever, we are, winners. Like we're able to take that situation and learn from it. And, so that you have offsprings and they don't make the same mistake. But I want to get back to choices. And it's so important because when you think about it, like wherever you are today, if you're not happy with it, if you don't like, I don't care, I'm talking about your finances, your health, your health, where you are with your spouse, where the relationship that you have with your family, whether, romantic or platonic, wherever you are, whatever aspect of yourself that you don't, whatever aspect, pillar of yourself that you don't like and you're not happy with, you do have the you have the power to change it. You never have to stay there. You never have to stay there. We shouldn't have to still be miserable and sad and unhappy and depressed off of things or decisions and choices that we made, back in the day or, yesterday. We shouldn't have to, stay in that victim, feeling like a victim and feeling powerless. We shouldn't have to do that. Because if you are responsible for getting yourself there, then you have to understand that you are responsible for getting yourself out. And whatever you got yourself into, you can get it out. And that may, for some people, they may try to die on that hill and be like, no, I'm not holding, because some people just can't, they just can't be accountable for their actions and their decisions and their behaviors, right? They refuse. And I'm telling you now, if that is you, if you're not willing to just say, okay, today is today, I'm taking full accountability, full responsibility of where I'm at today, right? And I want to change my life. This year that's coming up, 2023, I want to make sure that I'm hitting these goals, despite of what I've been through. I want to make sure that I turn this around and give myself a second chance, because every day that we wake up, that is a second chance for you. God is giving you another chance to get it right. I don't care. I truly don't, in my heart and my soul, believe that no matter how old you are, you can change, right? No matter how old I hate when people, and hate is a strong word, and I try not to use it, but I really do. I hate when people try to convince older people that it's too late. No, it's not. Like, no, it's not. As long as you still have air and breath in your body, as long as you're still waking up every day, it is not too late, right? You can always change. You can always go after your dream, your goals, your visions. Is never too late. But the thing is, you just have to decide today. And like Lisa Nichols said, I love this woman. Yes, I am the biggest fan. You're going to always hear her name because she literally changed my life and she don't even know it. I have never met this woman a day in my life, but she literally changed my life, right? So I'm going to keep, giving kudos to her, right? But like she said, stop asking for permission to do so. You just need to decide that today is the day that you're going to make better decisions, better choices, and you're not going to play the victim, because it doesn't get you nowhere. If you keep pointing a finger and saying, well, I'm this weight because no one ever taught me how to lose weight, or I'm not financially financially literate because my parents never taught me about finances, or I can't do this because I'm not educated enough because, I didn't have the opportunity to go to school to get an education. And it's like all of these things that we continue to tell ourselves. I wrote a book. It's called It All Boils Down to You. It's on Amazon right now. Look up Misha Hammond. I published that book, I believe, last year. Yeah, last year. It's titled It All Boils Down to You on Amazon. I'm going to put the link at the bottom. And I talk about how I've always, since I was younger, like I love to inspire people. I love to motivate people, right? I didn't know anything about like life coaches and things like that. I don't know. It's just something that just never crossed me when I was, growing up and wanted to, how they ask you, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always just be like, I don't know. I didn't see myself being no nurse, no doctor, none of that. Like most kids would say, I will just be like, I didn't know, because I honestly didn't know. But it wasn't until I got older and I started to learn about life coaching and motivational speaking. One day, my dream, my goal is to one day be on TED Talk, right? I didn't even know this existed. Like I said, things like that existed. Motivational speaking, life coaching, and things like that of that nature. I did not know it existed. But I don't know, like Lisa Nichols inspired me, but I always knew like this is something that I wanted to do. But then I would always come up with these excuses like, well, you're a mom of 3 kids. You don't have time for that. Like, you got stuff to do. You got kids to take care of, or, you're a wife. And you know how they say, being a wife, you got to put your husband first. You put your family first and things like, which is still true. Like, to a certain extent, I love to serve my family, but also I have a higher purpose, right? And I'm able to do that, and I'm able to go after my goals and go after my dreams, and you are too. I don't care. Like, there's nothing in your background you should be ashamed for. The same with me. My goal is to be completely transparent with you guys. I don't want to hide anything. I don't want to hide my background. None of that. If things come up, you got questions, I'm willing to, keep telling my story. I mean, what? Like, I don't know. Like, I know where I come from. I know back then I was kind of mean, like very much so mean. Was miserable, like all of that, right? But I'm not ashamed of that. Just being in those predicaments, being in those situations, even the situation with my father, learning about his own childhood and what he went through, and understanding how your environments create who you are, and things are domino effects. You know what I mean? That's where we get the generational curses. I can't fault him for what he's been through. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm only responsible of how I react. Even with that, how are you going to react? Some might say, is it my fault that I was SA'd? No, it's not your fault, but it's only your fault of how you're going to react to it. If you're still going to allow that situation to stop you from being the best version of yourself, to stop you from evolving and getting to the next level, then yeah, we're going to have to hold you accountable for that, because that may have happened years ago, and you're still allowing this person that did something to you to keep doing it to you, even though it's not even happening in real time. It's not fair to yourself. You're not a victim. Like, no, we're not playing that on this channel, on this community. We're not playing that. And if you guys are ready to really just get out of that victim mode and change your mindset and have a growth mindset, have a winner's mindset, then this is the community for you. Because we're not playing these games. Like, we're really, especially for me, like, I'm not playing with myself. Like, I feel like, you know how they say, like, girl, this is personal. I feel like it's very much so personal for me. Like, and besides, like, we deserve this, right? No one has to tell you that you're worthy of your vision, of your dreams. No one has to tell you that you deserve it. You tell yourself that. You stand on your own 10 toes and be like, I deserve this, I'm worth it, and I'm going after it. But standing a victim, having that victim mentality is not going to get you there. Because if you're continuing to blame other people for your faults and your decisions and where you are, then you're giving other people your power. We may have heard this a million times, but I want you guys to understand that this is real. Stop giving away your power. They don't run nothing. They don't run anything. God gave you free will. Use it. Take advantage of that. You know what I mean? Well, that's all I have to say for this video. We're no longer running the Victim Olympics. I've been retired out of that game. You guys are going to retire as well. 2023 is around the corner. We about to have a great year. We about to crush every goal that we set out to crush. We're going to crush it. If you're playing the victim when it comes down to your health, today, get it together. If you're playing a victim when it comes down to your finances, today, get it together. The education is out there. The knowledge is out there. You just got to get up and go get it and not make excuses about it. We're not playing victim. And I'm going to keep saying that. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and share it. Go ahead and, subscribe to the channel. Like the video so we can get the algorithm up. And like I stay saying, as long as you're working on yourself, as long as you're pouring into yourself, you can never lose. You're going to always win, and I truly do believe that. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Thank you for watching this video through. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.